Yeah. Because if the Cooper and the Cho were gone, and you still pick up another heavy frontline presence alongside the Gata Kacha and Alpha, then that might actually bode well for the Fanny. If the Fanny can actually get the farm up and not have that much of a problem getting the resources, because that leaves the back line of Indonesia a little bit more open, so it's a little bit more free for Sekais to go around, just swoop in.
So what's it gonna be? Last ban for Malaysia.
It's got to be the Cho or something in mid.
You can't prioritize Brody with something like a Kaja, right? Kaja, Franco. Would that be a good mix?
I'd feel bad for the Kaja or the Franco up against the Loyi and the high loss.
Alright.
You can answer with mid though. You can answer with like Aurora.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing you ban the Cho or the Aurora.
I'm still thinking there's still maybe still room for an Angelo, but no, yeah, they go Cho. Yeah, they respected Keyboy's picks. Wow.
They're shutting him down. They want to protect Sekais here. So they go for the Vexana pick for Indonesia. They're going to utilize that onto Sans.
Okay, so far we don't have a pick for Luke yet. We don't know. We don't know if Keyboy's playing the Gatot or... I don't like Edith into Fanny. Or Edith into a Luyi. Like, those are two bad ways to go.
Agree. Another frontliner from Malaysia will be really good. I think this is already a go just EXP lane high loss. They could potentially pick up another roamer that could pack Revitalize, although the main options for that are already gone. We probably won't see that.
It's weird though.
Lockdown? Here you go, Edith.
They can eat it, right? Yeah. It's better for them than it is for team. That is a XP lane Masha.
Yeah, that's an instant response to that. You're thinking about the 1-1, you're thinking about the first entry coming in from the Fanny that if you want to swoop in, it'll be the Masha bursting down that Fanny.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've seen the Masha versus high loss with a Revitalize going up against each other, so I'm interested to see how that's going to fare in lane. It's a matchup we don't see.
Yeah, because the high loss doesn't need much. The Masha, on the other hand, scales.
We're going to turn over to our casters, ladies and gentlemen, to bring you game number 1 in this match. Indonesia versus Malaysia. Boys, what do you guys think?
Well, I'll tell you what we think here. Eterna and panelists Renmar and Leo, we can feel or see. I feel like we can visibly see how nervous Eterna is right now with this matchup. Again, it's a semifinal here. The winner of this will be heading on over to face off against the Philippines in the grand final. The loser of this will be going off to fight for the battle for 3rd or 4th place. It's all happening on our last live stream match here. And again, I'm Nice joined here aside with Mirko to bring you the action to close out our day today for the MLBB Open WEC 2024 for ISF. How are we feeling about the draft, man?
Honestly, I mean, looking at the draft, for me personally, I like Malaysia's draft, right? But those are some signature picks for Indonesia. That is Masha. That is Super Luke's Masha. Back when he was a Geek fan, he was a absolute beast on the Masha, was able to beat a lot of the Fanny picks, a lot of the Assassins, but mainly the 1-1. I think the 1-1 will definitely struggle a bit up against those resets coming in when you try to kite away from the Masha. Insane gap closure.
You gotta be pretty happy. I don't know, is she still your main? Like, is 1-1 still the main? Because she's coming through the meta again, so... With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we're jumping into this matchup. The Land of Dawn, again, it's the best of 3 between Malaysia and Indonesia. We already know what's at stake here, and they started off with game number 1. We'll find out which team finds their footing first. We've had a great series today, especially the last one that we just witnessed, where Philippines, the defending champion, will be waiting for one of these teams in that grand final. Wow, Keyboy already taking quite a bit of damage, and you know, our panelists really talked about how things were set up. The fact, too, that Luyi is a big pickup here for Malaysia. They do take it from Indonesia. And even that, man, I mean, the first pick, Fanny, that was really early priority.
Yeah, I mean, when you have someone like Skies who can play the Fanny at that level,
yeah,
it's first pick prio, definitely, you know. And I think it is a strategy from Indonesia as well to leave it open. We've seen the Fanny just always ban down the red side, respecting so many of the other Fanny users. And we saw the Brody pick very, very early as well. First phase Brody pick to counter the Fanny. It's a very good way to counter the Fanny, but then you see the 1-1 pick, right? 1-1 actually does have a little bit of an advantage in this lane. You are able to get that weakness point in the back quite easily, and you can see that CW has already burnt out the flicker, so it's already working right now early on.
The early matchup is not going to be fun, I would say, for CW, and part of it too, again, is just he's hoping to survive, survive against this.
Whoa, Albert.
Okay, he should be fine.
Yeah, just forced to use the Spear of Alpha defensively, but Skies, he was able to steal it away. Now jumps into the cables. Luke, no level 4 just yet, so doesn't have that thunderclap.
Yeah, he's going to have to wait. And this is kind of what you expect from teams like this from Malaysia and Indonesia, really kind of testing the limits even in the early game with what they have. And a lot of this also comes down to just very comfort picks for key players here from both sides. And what it'll ultimately lead to is now that this turtle is up, those level 4s and what's available are going to play a big part of this. Again, Gojes has that Glorious Pathway plus the Revitalize. Keyboy's still waiting though, right? He's only level 3, doesn't have the jump that Avatar the Guardian, but they can still extend the fight simply by having a Revitalize themselves.
Okay, the bottle. Eternal Guard locking him down right now, but look at Skies coming in with a Shatter Flicker from Yums. Go flicker out from Sans there, but it's going to be first blood over. Yums picking it up with that level 4. Skies going for the chase, but unable to get Sans down. It will just be a 1-for-0 trade right now.
Right now, Luke, enough to just kind of keep them at a bay, really, from actually committing to the objective, because Sakai's also needs to go grab his buffs. But that is first blood, right? First blood in the hands of Malaysia. They're going to work on that. They did get Albert out of the exchange, and they'll go ahead and set things up as locked in. We'll probably see the rotation up here, and right now, Yum's going to keep Keyboy under control. But it looks like for now, neither team really going for this objective just yet until Sakai will eventually make his way there. But Albert, back up to this too, does grab his buff, and they'll work for this. They might look for a pick-off here, but ultimately, this is going to be the main focus, if they actually go for this turtle or not.
You see that Keyboy is already forced back. Might actually still walk up. Skies with the cables, looking for Sans right now, doesn't have the flicker. Throws out the Terrified Eternal Guard, will be able to connect on the Skies, but he just goes in with the cables again. One last shot is all he needs. Meanwhile, Keyboy with the EOG, connecting to 2, getting into taunt down. Young's very low, the thunderclap over. Young's still able to survive. Will be able to do it. No, he gets bursted down.
And Albert in trouble now. Sakai's looking to clean up the kill. Young jumps back in. It's a triple for Sakai's.
Triple kill for Skies on a Fanny. It's not just a random triple for a random player. This is a signature pick for Skies.
Oh man, as we were just talking about these signature picks for certain players, yes, Sakai's, he loves the Fanny, and the fact that you get a triple kill this early on, diversion. Oh, CW, he's got to be careful on this one. This is where the patience game comes into play. We'll see if he's actually able to, he gets some information.
Good read.
So he's going to be fine. He should be able to go install the sound. He's got backup from Keyboy here too, so I think that ultimately does keep that from happening. Good try though again from Malaysia, because they've got this lead, they've got this kind of momentum in their favor right now. They can play around. Look at this early Malefic gun.
Is that first item?
First item, I think, for CW.
That is very, very interesting. Trying to put in the poke, I believe here. Trying to outrange the 1-1 very early on. Good damage from the Curse Blast, but yeah, for Indonesia, the fact that usually it's already really scary to go 50-50.
Yeah.
Wait, hold up, Yums. Big on the frozen strike earlier. Now should be a kill. CW picks the kill up. No stun over from CW. Skies good cable management to get away. The AOG from Keyboy just to get a bit of reinforcement in that bottom lane.
Yeah, seeing Yums go down there just reminded me of the last team fight we saw break out. The fact that he didn't go down, and he's able to even jump back into the fight and get a kill. And this is one of the things about Edith or Cryo under the turret.
Luke, now with a thunderclap. Just a few more cables. Good read by Skies. Reading the flicker from Luke, getting the kill up top, and that's another. Make it 4 for Skies.
All right, anytime this happens, Mirka, we know when a Fanny gets this kind of scaling, it's really difficult to deal with, especially in a player that specializes in this hero. You can see what's happening here, even topside.
Again, Sans good terrified down, but there's going to be another cable. Eternal Guard, Skies so clean. Surgical on the Fanny.
Man, how do you stop this? How do you stop just Skies alone from snowballing further? He's already snowballed. He's already a snowball for the team themselves for Malaysia. So you've got to be able to respond to this for Indonesia, trying to, find what they can across the map. Turtle's going to be up here. they might still go ahead and try to fight for it.
Spirit of Alpha over to go just now with the Thunderclap as well. Good glorious pathway, keyboard in the midst of it all. Now the cables coming through. Albert will be targeted down. The AOG doesn't connect onto anyone, forcing out the Revitalize. Meanwhile, Skies again getting an off angle. Thunderclap over from Luke. Now stun onto Gorgeous, a Terrify as well. CW putting the stacks down right now. Does he get a turn apart? Never really does. One last shot, Gorgeous burning down, but still able to survive. Skies looking for the cutthroat, gets stunned up, and now a few basic attacks.
Oh! He goes in. Yooms wasn't able to clean up the kill either. CW, but there goes Stormy. Stormy will clean up CW.
Stormy now trying to run away. Sounds with the flicker forward. Doesn't find the curse. The Eternal Guard. Stormy getting away, throwing back a few shots at Sans, zoning him away. He will be taken down, but it's an execute.
Well played. I am so surprised with everybody around Stormy. The fact that he gets executed after all of that. But going back to now, the fight for the purple buff, it is going to be taken. Albert doesn't grab it. The turtle's still up, mind you, against all of this. So what a play. I mean, very down to the macro decisions from Malaysia to play around Indonesia like that. We'll see how they adjust. Albert this time is going to go ahead and start up the turtle. And Yooms and Gojes looking to go for the sandwich again.
Defensive Spear of Alpha already. Keyboy in the midst of it all. Caught again. AOG defensively. Luke taken down to his 1 HP bar. Those are all the HP bars taken out already, forcing out the flicker. Meanwhile, Gorgeous in the back again. Keyboy able to find the taunt right now. Sans goes in, but no, it's the Skies continuously dealing out damage. Finding another Alpha with the Spear of Alpha, locking Skies down still. Getting out with the cables. Luke didn't come in time to get the Thunderclap, to get the assassination.
Didn't come in time, and look at what's happening here. Malaysia full force forward. They got the objective. They're possibly going to get some more, at least a lot of damage here on the tier 2 turret already at this portion of the game. It's getting really difficult for Indonesia to go ahead and find the space to move around the map with the way things are going. And every single time they approach some of these choke points around the jungle, it's that utilization of having a Hylos, plus the fact that even noobs can jump in, and not to mention, you still haven't solved this snowball effect coming out from Skies on this Fanny. They might try to make a play here, though. Keyboy charging on up.
Getting the taunt down onto Young. He will throw out all the abilities down. Keyboy, AOG defensively, good timing. Gorgeous will go for the chase right now. Slowly will be caught, but Spear of Alpha. Last shot, Luke finds it. Cables from Skies. Albert still able to get the angle to escape, but the lethal ignition just ticks down on it.
Again, they're trying to find these moments where they can win these team fights, but every single time Malaysia's able to find another way into the fight, to find another way to get it out and disengage. And again, a buff diversion here. Diversion up top. Luke could be in trouble. They're going to go for him.
Luke will be caught. Thunderclap coming. Oh no! Not enough damage. Skies just bursts him down. 100 to 0.
8-0-4 right now for Skies. Look at the damage. This is what I like to call big damn. And right now, it's all Sakai's here on this Fanny. Just 46,000. And that's why I'm saying it's going to be great when Indonesia finally shuts him down. Because look at the amount of
shut them down.
Yeah, that's a big question. That's a big question mark right now for Indonesia. How do you catch him? How do you even stop just a Fanny in general in the tracks? You know, and that's what they've been struggling with at this point in the game. Almost 10 minutes in. Lord is up. And Indonesia wants to go fight for this. Lolio does pick up his own Malefic gun this time around. Skies will go ahead and start this Lord up. And it looks like Indonesia wants to get in the zone to contest this. But is that the right decision? Eternal Guard.
Well, they can't look for an angle at all. Indonesia will just have to concede the first Lord of the game. And Malaysia takes it no biggie. Good zoning, good control.
At this point, we've seen this before. Indonesia now on the defense. And you have to kind of break down and look at that they brought to this fight. We haven't seen just yet, albeit maybe one moment when CW was able to get some marks off, but he couldn't clean up the kill with a torn apart memory. Maybe, if they can buy some more time, he's going to have enough itemization to actually clean up those kills, but he's got to survive too. Someone's got to protect him. Here comes Skies again. Doesn't get it this time. At least Albert secures it, but they've all got to be